this is going to do it. The Duke Blue Devils come into Madison, subdue the crowd, subdue the Badgers, and the number 4 team of the nation emerges with an 80-70 road win to up their record to 8-0 and hand the Badgers their first loss of the season.
And the Blue Devils are the national champions of 2015.
I don't pay attention to college basketball, and I've never filled out a bracket.
I don't watch college basketball, I only watch professional basketball, and I've never filled out a bracket.
I watch UK and then OU when they're good, so I don't watch it a lot. Because UK is usually in it because they're really good, and I like UK, so I care more. Yeah, I filled out a bracket. I had UK winning, and they didn't win, so I was really disappointed. But I'm a Cubs fan, so I'm used to disappointment.
Alright, so as far as college basketball goes, I don't really watch that much of the regular season. I do, however, watch a little bit of Michigan basketball because they're my favorite team during the regular season. But once March Madness comes around, you know, you got everyone filling out brackets, including myself. I got my dad filling out some as well. So it's kind of just like a whole event. It's kind of like a whole thing that everyone likes to do. So you're kind of right in the aspect of no one really pays attention until March Madness. But I myself watch a little bit of the regular season, and then I definitely pay attention more for March Madness.
During the regular season of NCAA basketball, I pay attention to only 2 conferences, which is the MAC conference, because I'm from OU, obviously, and then the Big East Conference, because I'm a huge St. John's fan, being from Long Island, New York. So I'm a huge fan of Big East because I think it's very competitive. But during NCAA, I really pay attention to everything. Not a lot of people pay attention during the regular season, I believe, but during March Madness, everyone fills out a bracket and tries to win money, and usually loses money in the process, like myself this year. And because of that, I think they want to pay more attention, is because there's that betting factor, because people love to bet, but can't really do it during the regular season because they don't pay attention too much. But when you have teams like 1 versus 16, you're going to pick the 1 every time, and that's why people think they can get a perfect bracket every year, because there's not going to be upsets, people think, but there is, and that's another reason why people watch it, and that's why I love watching it. I love watching a 15 beat a 2 or a 14 beat a 3, and I think that's just the joy of watching the tournament of March Madness. It's just entertaining, and that's why we pay attention to it.
At least one bracket. Sometimes I fill out more than one bracket, and it ultimately just depends on how many groups of friends I have that are throwing together a pool. I'll just join at the last possible second, and then I'll throw in anything. I'm really not an expert with bracketology. A lot of times I just go off of the regular season, who has a lot of rebounds, because rebounding's huge, especially when it's clutch, and then I look forward to seeing if there's depth of scoring. So if there's only one player, a superstar, a lot of times that will be eliminated very early on, whether it's in the round of 32 or the first round. We've seen lots of it, like Duke did against Mercer a couple years back. I think it's kind of funny how you'll have a lot of people who just join in for March Madness. March Madness is 90% of the NCAA's revenue throughout the entire year. It's always interesting to see just the huge blocks of fandom, why they have to have 100,000 people at any individual Final Four game and stuff like that. It's always fun to see that. But during the regular season, college basketball has a ton to offer as well. If you're in the MAC, even like Ohio University is, there's tons of great games. Ohio beat Buffalo by 1 point with a dunk earlier this year. Ohio State had a really interesting storyline. They struggled until they got into the tournament, then they were able to win their first game. So there's tons of fun storylines that you can follow, just like with any other sport.
A former commissioner of the Big East Conference, Mike Tranghese, said, "For the most part, you can go through November and December, and people who aren't diehard enthusiasts aren't even aware that college basketball is taking place."